Have you ever noticed your dog stretching right when they see you, almost like they're rolling out the red carpet just for you? It looks like just a simple routine, right? But what if it's something way stranger than that? What if that one stretch is actually revealing a hidden instinct, an ancient signal, or even something downright mind-blowing? Some of these reasons will make you smile. Others might leave you totally baffled, but trust me, the deeper we go, the stranger it gets. So stay until the end, because the last one, it's the kind of thing that'll change the way you see your dog forever. Let's jump in. Number 15. It's a secret doggy handshake. Why does your furry friend greet you with a big stretch like they're rolling out a welcome mat just for you? It's not just a lazy morning move, it's actually their version of a secret handshake. In the wild, wolves stretch toward each other as a form of social bonding. A non-verbal way of saying, "Hey, we're cool, right?" Your pup does the same, except instead of a handshake, they're giving you a full-body hello. It's their way of strengthening the connection, almost like a best friend's special high five. And the best part? They don't do this for just anyone, only for those they truly trust. So next time they stretch in your direction, know that it's their way of saying, "You're part of my pack." But here's the real question. What if that stretch isn't just about greeting you, but also about testing the entire energy of the room? Number 14. They're testing the vibe in the room. Ever seen your dog do a deep, dramatic stretch right in the middle of a room, like they're waking up from a century-long nap? They're not just loosening up, they're subtly checking the energy around them. Dogs actually use stretching as a way to test the vibe around them. Their bodies are finely tuned to detect tension in the air, whether it's from you, another pet, or even something unspoken in the atmosphere. If they sense stress, they might stretch before coming closer, almost like they're shaking off any weird energy before stepping in. Think of it like a deep breath before walking into an awkward conversation, except your dog does it with their whole bodies. And if they stretch extra big before looking at you, they might be trying to tell you they feel your tension too, but their ability to pick up on unseen signals doesn't stop there. Sometimes they're not just reacting to the room, they're syncing with your heartbeat. Number 13. They're reacting to your heartbeat. Why does your pup stretch right when they see you, like they're tuning into something invisible? It's not just a morning routine, it's a realignment, and it might have more to do with you than them. Dogs can sense and even hear human heartbeats from a distance. Not just the thumping in your chest, but the tiny shifts in rhythm, ones even you don't notice. When your pulse changes, whether from excitement, stress, or even just standing up too fast, your furry friend picks up on it like a living heart monitor. That stretch? It's not random. It's their way of syncing with you, almost like how two people fall into step while walking together. Ever notice them stretching right before snuggling up to you? That's them locking into your rhythm. But syncing up is just the beginning. Sometimes that stretch is more than just a response, it's a silent request. Number 12. They're subtly asking for permission. Why does your pup stretch right at you like they're showing off? Sure, it looks like a lazy wake-up move, but there's something deeper going on. That big exaggerated stretch is actually a silent question. Is it okay if I come closer? Unlike humans who rely on words, dogs use movement to communicate respect and boundaries. A stretch in your direction is a polite way of checking in, almost like knocking on a door before stepping inside. They're saying, "I see you, I trust you, but do you trust me back?" And here's the fun part. If you acknowledge it with a smile, a nod, or even stretching back, they take it as a green light to approach. It's a built-in social cue, hidden in plain sight. But this stretching habit goes way beyond just friendly greetings, because sometimes it's a reflex from something far older, something wild. Number 11. It's an ancient hunting reflex. Ever notice your fur baby stretching like they're gearing up for something big? It's not just a casual move. It's an ancient reflex passed down from their wild ancestors. Wild dogs instinctively limber up before chasing prey, making sure their muscles are ready for action. Even though your furry friend isn't running down dinner, that primal instinct still lingers. Their body is wired to prepare for movement, whether it's a playful zoomy session or just following you into the next room. Humans warm up before exercise, but for dogs, stretching is second nature. It's built into their DNA. And here's where it gets even more interesting. That stretch might not just be about getting ready to move, it could also be their way of leaving a little something behind. Ever noticed how they stretch close to you, almost like they're making sure you notice? That's no accident. It's actually a way of something that we'll uncover at number 10. If your dog's stretches already have you looking at them in a whole new way, you're going to love what's coming next. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another mind-blowing fact about your furry best friend. There's so much more to uncover, including number 10, they're marking you with their scent. Well, here's an interesting fact. That long, drawn-out stretch right in front of you, almost like a performance, might seem innocent, but it's actually a sneaky little trick to claim you as their own. When a dog extends their paws, they're not just loosening up, they're leaving behind microscopic scent markers. Unlike humans who rely on words and gestures to express attachment, your pup use scent as their invisible signature. Those tiny particles released from their paws send a silent message. This human belongs to me. It's a subtle way of reinforcing their bond, a gentle claim that's completely natural in the dog world. And if they do it every time you walk through the door, that's their way of making sure their scent stays on you, like an unspoken hug in their language. But that stretch isn't just about marking, it's also a way of resetting their energy before fully engaging with you. Number 9, they're resetting their energy for you. Why does your pup go from snoozing like a lazy loaf to stretching the moment they see you? It's not just a random wake-up move, it's a full-on energy reset. When a dog is in deep relaxation, their body shifts into a slower rhythm, conserving energy like a phone in low-power mode. But the second they spot you, boom, stretch. That's their way of shaking off rest mode and switching into I'm ready for you mode. It's like hitting a refresh button, making sure every muscle is primed for play, pets, or just following you around. And if that stretch comes with a tail wag, that's the ultimate signal. They're fully tuned into you. But here's something even sweeter. If they stretch lazily and expose their belly mid-move, it's not just about waking up. That's a silent declaration of something that might just melt your heart. Number 8. It's a sign of total trust. Why would a creature built for survival willingly make itself vulnerable? When a dog stretches right in front of you, they're exposing their belly, their legs, and all their defenses, something no wild animal would dare to do unless they felt completely safe. Unlike humans who can fake trust with words, dogs show it with their entire bodies. That long, lazy stretch? It's a silent way of saying, I don't need to be on guard around you. I know you've got my back. It's the kind of trust that takes time to build, and when a pup offers it freely, it means they see you as family. But what if that stretch is more than just comfort? Sometimes it's not about how they feel, it's about how you move. In fact, if you pay close attention, you might just notice something fascinating. Number 7. They're copying your movements. Why does your pup stretch right after you do? Almost like they're your furry little twin. It's not just a coincidence. Dogs are expert mimics, and they mirror their humans more than you might think. Just like how people unconsciously copy each other's gestures, like crossing their arms when someone else does, dogs do the same with stretching. It's their way of bonding, syncing up, and even showing affection. If you start your morning with a big yawn and a stretch, don't be surprised when those paws extend right after. This built-in mimicry comes from their pack instincts, where copying a leader's movements keeps the group connected. And while this habit is adorable, sometimes a stretch means something more, like dodging an awkward interaction. Because, believe it or not, dogs can sense social discomfort, and they know exactly how to avoid it. Let's learn more on that at number 6. They're avoiding a socially awkward greeting. Why does your pup stretch right in front of you instead of just running up like an excited toddler? Well, in the dog world, charging in too fast can come off as rude or even aggressive. Unlike humans who rely on words and handshakes, dogs communicate through body language. That big, slow stretch? It's their way of softening their approach, almost like saying, "Hey, I'm coming in friendly." It signals relaxation, diffuses tension, and makes sure no one misreads their excitement as a challenge. Think of it as their version of a casual wave instead of an awkward full-speed hug. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Sometimes that stretch isn't just a polite greeting. Sometimes it's a clever disguise for something way more playful. Number 5, it's a play invitation disguised as a stretch. Why does your pup stretch right in front of you, but not after waking up, not before lying down, just right when they see you? That deep front leg bow, the slow stretch, the wagging tail, it's not just about loosening up. It's actually a sneaky play invitation. Unlike humans who just say, "Hey, wanna hang out?" dogs use body language to send signals, and this stretch is one of the friendliest ones. It's their way of saying, "Let's do something fun." Maybe a quick chase, a little wrestle, or just some excited zoomies around the room. Even if they look relaxed, their body is gearing up for movement, watching to see if you'll respond. And here's the wild part. Sometimes it's not just about play, that perfectly timed stretch. It could mean they're picking up on something way more subtle, like the shift in your own blood pressure. Number 4, they sense your blood pressure. Spiking. That slow, methodical stretch might look random, but what if it's actually their way of reacting to a tiny change in your body? Dogs have an incredible ability to detect the tiniest changes in your body, including your blood pressure. Whether you're stressed, frustrated, or even just excited, your body releases subtle chemical signals that your furry companion can pick up instantly. Unlike humans who rely on machines to measure these shifts, dogs can smell the difference before you even feel it. That big, exaggerated stretch? It's their way of recalibrating, almost like they're shaking off the extra tension in the air before it affects them. But here's where it gets even stranger. Dogs don't just sense what's happening in your body. Some can even react to what's happening in your head. Number 3, they're reacting to the electrical activity in your brain. Why does your furry friend stretch right in front of you, seemingly out of nowhere? Sure, it looks casual, but what if it's actually their way of responding to something happening inside your head? Unlike humans, dogs can sense shifts in brain activity, tiny electrical changes that are completely invisible to us. It's why some canines are trained to detect seizures before they happen. But even without training, many dogs instinctively react when they pick up on these subtle signals. That sudden stretch? It might not be random at all. It could be their way of recalibrating, grounding themselves, or even preparing to alert you if something feels off. And the strangest part? They often sense these changes long before you do. But brain waves aren't the only thing they're tuned into. In fact, they can pick up something even more surprising. Number 2, they can smell the chemical changes in your body before you even know what's happening. Why does your pup stretch right in front of you, right when you walk in, sit down, or even before you say a word? It's not just a habit. Dogs have an insanely powerful nose, up to 100,000 times stronger than ours, and they can smell chemical shifts in your body before even doctors could detect them. Stress, sickness, hormone changes, your furry friend picks up on it all. That big stretch? It might be their way of processing something new in your scent, something you don't even realize is happening yet. Some dogs have been known to sense illnesses like cancer before symptoms appear, while others detect blood sugar drops faster than a medical device. So next time they stretch in front of you, don't brush it off. It could be their way of adjusting to something changing inside you. And speaking of hidden senses, what if they could pick up on events before they even happen? Number 1, they know something is about to happen, which you have no idea. Why does your pup stretch out and lock eyes with you, like they're trying to tell you something? It's not just a random move. Your dog has an incredible ability to sense things before they happen. Long before you hear the knock on the door, their body is already reacting. They pick up on subtle shifts, tiny vibrations sense in the air, even the way a person's energy changes before they arrive. It's why some dogs get restless before a storm, or why they suddenly perk up moments before an unexpected guest appears. Their bodies respond before their brains even process it, stretching as if preparing for whatever's coming. And sometimes it's not just about a visitor or the weather. It could be a major shift in your life, something even you haven't realized yet. And that's just one of the many strange reasons why dogs stretch when they see you. Who knows how many more hidden instincts and signals they have? If you want to uncover even more fascinating facts about your fur baby, check out our next video.